Hey guys, William here from Junie Lion Williams Adventures. And I thought today we would discuss for a little while about the Philippines. Let's talk about, is Philippines still a viable place for expats to come to? That's what we're going to talk about. Is it still the Philippines? Is it still the place to come for expats? That's what we're going to talk about for a while, guys. The whys, the why nots. So we'll be back in a minute and we'll talk about that. Is the Philippines still the viable place for expats? Let's talk. Hey guys, William here from Junie Lion Williams Adventures. We're glad to be back with this vlog, and we thought that we wanted to talk a little bit about, is the Philippines still a viable place for expats? Is it still the place to come? Or as they used to say in my day, is it still the place to be? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the ups, the downs, the pros, and the cons. Let's talk about the good and bad of the Philippines. And is it a viable place for expats to still come to? Well, let's just first start by saying, if you're planning on coming to the Philippines for vacation, January and February, even March, are really good times. If you're coming for 3 weeks, you're coming for a month or a little longer, and you're planning to come on a vacation, as a lot of you guys are, to see your LDR, because the weather's like about maybe 79, 80 degrees. It's like about that 79, 80 at night. It's really very nice weather. It's not the hottest time of the year in the Philippines. It's actually the coolest time that you're going to get in the Philippines is around January, which is past February, and a little bit of the beginning of March. Once you get past there, it goes back to the heat, guys. So let's talk about the pros about coming to the Philippines. We all know about the women. I'm married to a Filipina, have been for the last 9 months, being in a relationship with one for the last 4 years. And I've been living here in the Philippines, guys, for a year and a half. Came over 3 times for months at a time before that. The women are always going to be a draw to the Philippines. As I say, women in the Philippines, the Filipina is a natural resource of the country. They're beautiful, they're very delectable, they're and selectable. So a lot of guys want to get involved with a Filipina because of not only their looks, but their characteristics as caretakers and women that don't do a lot of arguing back as some of our Western women do. But guys, once we get past that, and I know that a lot of guys can't get past that I talk to, of the Filipino woman, what are the other reasons to be in the Philippines? What are some of the pros of being in the Philippines? Because beauty only lasts so long, guys. After you're with a girl for so long, or even if you're running from girl to girl, guys, that gets old at some point, because beauty is beauty, and there's a lot of beauty here in the Philippines. So after that, what would be one of the other reasons, especially if you were going to be an expat, why the Philippines? Is it a viable option? Well, let's look at it. Let's talk about the difference in the money. The cost of living was one of the reasons that drew me, aside from the women. Your American dollar is just worth so much more here. I mean, if you're looking for talking about rents in the Philippines are anywhere from 100 US to 600-700 US, and anywhere in between that or over that. But you could get a really, really good place to live for somewhere in the middle there, between maybe $300 and $600. I myself live in this gated community. We pay like about $340 for 3 bedrooms and 2 baths, guys. If you look at one of the other videos, we did a house tour of this townhouse, and you can look there and see that. But so the cost of living, groceries, there's a little bit of savings if you go to the outdoor markets and things like that. So yes, in the cost of living, the rent is really what it is. I haven't driven a car but one time since I've been here in the Philippines. The price of cabs, the price of tricycles to get around is so cheap, guys, that you really could get chauffeured around, and you don't need the expense of car insurance. You don't need the expense of having a car to upkeep, unless you want that. I've been over here for over a year and a half, and I don't miss having a car or driving whatsoever. Even to the point of the things that you can have delivered to your house, guys, here in the Philippines. You can get a therapeutic massage, and I'm talking about a therapeutic massage in your house for approximately probably $6. That a massage therapist, a female, will come to your house and give you a therapeutic massage. We're not talking about the other kinds, guys. We're talking about a therapeutic massage. That's unheard of in the U.S. You can go on vacation for a few $100s to white sand, blue water beaches. The environment, the natural resources here, the natural beauty of nature, the beaches, the islands that you could go to, and the plane fares are really cheap to go to these islands. So with the difference in the American dollar, that's another reason to be in the Philippines if you wanted to travel and see exotic destinations. That is another reason to be here in the Philippines. Maybe just for the adventure. As they used to say in the Indiana Jones movies, a fortune and glory, kid. Well, you can have your life adventure here if you're past 62. I'm 68, and you're looking for that last fourth quarter of your life great adventure in your life. I figured that over here in Asia, and the Philippines to be exact, would be an adventure for me to undertake. I've done a lot of things in my life, and guess what, guys? By the time you're 60 to 65 to 70, you probably lived a lot of lifetimes and been a lot of different things in your life. And maybe you're looking for that last great adventure, like Indiana Jones. You were looking for something to be excited about again. And yes, women are part of the equation, or a woman or women, whatever your choice is, but also the cost of living. Nature over here, the climate, the food that a lot of people have talked about, and all these things. And I know, I've said myself, all these things come second, because we all know as foreigners, the one thing that draws us to the Philippines is the women. And I know a lot of us will say, William, it's not just that, but you and I both know that that's really the top of the list, is the women. And everything else is second. But there has to be second, guys. Because at some point, you're going to look at that beautiful Filipina that you have, that you see every day, cooking and cleaning and doing all those things. But what are you going to do with your free time if you're a retired person here in the Philippines and you're used to jumping in your car or doing what you want to do and going places that you know? Well, this is a new culture, guys. So a lot of foreigners, expats won't tell you, but there is times when you get bored. Boredom is a real thing over here, and running out of things to do. So you have to be a person that's a self-motivator, that you find things to do. Connect with other expats. If you were a recluse and a loner in the U.S., you can't do that here. You'll have to connect with other people and find things to do to occupy your time. Maybe your Filipina works, and she can't do everything, because, guys, if your Filipino works, they work 10 hours a day. So is the Philippines still a viable place to come to? I would say for certainly on vacation, guys. It has all the things that you're looking for. Beautiful beaches, beautiful women, beautiful culture, all those things. The only thing that is expensive about the Philippines is the plane ride to get here, guys. That's the most expensive thing that you would pay for. But once you come to be an expat and you're living in the Philippines, remember, you have to start thinking about your health, because the ambulance system here is not what it is in the United States, guys. A lot of guys are so busy rushing to get over here to see that woman that they forget to go get that stress test. They forget to go take care of their physical health. Make sure that you're in good health, guys, to come over here and be with that woman that's half your age. Remember, the climate is very hot over here, guys. Bring your medications with you. Even though medication here for blood pressure and diabetes and all those things, it's still affordable here, even if you're paying out of pocket. But that's what we wanted to talk about today. I thought we talked about enough about relationships for now. We talked enough about this and that. Let's talk about, is it a still viable place to retire in the Philippines? And what's your reasons for retiring besides the woman, guys? Because the woman cannot be the only reason that you come to the Philippines. You're going to have other reasons that you get up every morning besides just that woman. You cannot put all your eggs in that one basket, guys. Even though if you find a good Filipina, that's a great resource and a great person to have by your side, a great partner. But she can't be your everything. You're going to have to also have your own life here in the Philippines, guys. Remember that. So is it still a viable place to retire? That depends on you. That depends on what your motive is. That depends on what your family situation you're leaving back in the U.S. or in Canada. You can't leave things undone and expect to just run away from those guys. You have to start closing doors that you need to close and start doing things to prepare yourself to be here so you're not worried about things that you didn't take care of back in the U.S. You don't want to bring the same problems here that you had there. Am I right, guys? So is the Philippines still a viable place to come as an expat? That's what we're talking about. Remember, guys, comment, subscribe, and give us a thumbs up. Let us know what you think about. Are you preparing to come to the Philippines? Is it still a viable place to come and retire? Are all those things that we talked about, the cost of living, the nature, the travel, the beautiful waterfalls, are those things enough to occupy your time? Do you have a plan to occupy your time besides just spending time with the LDR or maybe your future wife? Because remember, they have a life, they have families, they're going to go out and do things, and you're not going to always want to go. So you have to have some kind of game plan besides sitting in the house. You didn't come to the Philippines to sit in the house in your golden years. So you have to have other hobbies. You have to meet with other expats. You have to do other things, guys. So these are just some of the things I wanted to remind some of the guys that are coming over here, especially those to retire. Start thinking about those things if this is still a viable place. Are those things that you can handle? Are you a person that easily gets bored or runs out of things to do? Are you a people person? Are you able to connect with other expats that are in the area so that you can have people to talk to, places to go? Because it can get lonely and boring in the Philippines. Even though English is a language, there's still a language barrier, guys. Even in talking to your LDR, you'll find that there's phrases and words that they don't understand what you're saying, guys. So we just wanted to put that out there, and this is just to start the conversation. Is the Philippines still a viable place to come? And what's your motive? It's got to be more than just the girl, guys. So this is William at Junie Lyon Williams Adventures, and that's what we're talking about. And guys, we'll be led by your comments. Comment. Tell us what you think. Are you still coming over to the Philippines? Do you have your plane ticket yet? I know that some of our subscribers are already here. They're enjoying their vacation. If you're coming on vacation, now's the time. Come on over, guys. And we'll see you next time here at Junie Lyon Williams Adventures, and we'll have another subject to talk about. But remember that. That's the question. Is the Philippines still a viable place to come for expats? We know it is for vacation. Tell us about it, guys. And we'll see you next time here at Junie Lyon Williams Adventures. See you later, guys.